Hello, hello, welcome or welcome back. I am here. It is a new era, and that new era means that I am actually putting in the effort and making the videos and doing the things. So today I've put together a bunch of books that remind me of the show The Bachelor, which is one of my favorite shows. I know it's reality TV, I know it's kind of trashy, but you know what? I love how the women argue. I love how there's like all sorts of scandals that go on, and like I know that someone's like trying for real love here, and I hope that it works out for them. But the entertainment aspect for me really is top tier. I enjoy it quite a bit. And depending upon how it goes, sometimes The Bachelorette is the same way, especially with like a lot of guys I feel like go home and have like girlfriends on the side or people like at home waiting for them, which like that's disgusting if you ask me. It could be a 0 out of 10. But The Bachelor really is where it's at. I like the women, I like the cattiness, I like it all. So without delay, here are a couple of books that remind me of The Bachelor. Starting off strong with The Selection by Kiera Cass. I am obsessed with this book. This is a series. It's The Selection, The Elite, and The One, and then there's 2 books that are after it too. And this one just, goodness gracious, I'm obsessed. It's a young adult book, and basically it's set in like a dystopian world where America Singer, who is like at the bottom of their caste system, they've got like a system of like who's the best and who's the worst. Give it like, it's kind of like Hunger Games with like the different districts and stuff, and like some of them are the worst and some of them are the best. Similar to that. So she's like on the bottom of the caste system, and she gets chosen to be like Prince Maxon's, like one of the people that compete for his heart, because every time they have a prince in charge, the prince takes a woman from the village and marries them. So it's like very much The Bachelor, but it's like The Bachelor with royalty. And so that is The Selection series. It's a young adult book, but it is absolutely amazing, and I might actually reread this soon because, as I said before, I'm in a reading slump. So like there are just certain books that get you out of that slump, and I would say like this, ACOTAR, and what else really helps me? I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Those are like some of my top books to read when I'm in a slump. So love this book, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Now, if you are looking for a queer version of The Bachelor, try The Charm Offensive. Here we've got Dev, who is like the one in charge, and he ends up on, not the one in charge, he's like the main character, and he ends up on the show Everly After, which again is very similar to The Bachelorette and The Bachelor. And there's a bunch of girls there, and he's trying to fall for any of them, and kind of realizes that he might not be falling for any of them because he's not into girls. So there's a couple of side characters, and there's like the one person being its star, and yeah. So if you're into queer books, this would be a very good queer read for you. It's called The Charm Offensive, and it's got the same idea as The Bachelor, The Selection, all of those things, except for the show is called Everly After, and the main character is Charlie Winshaw, and he is trying to compete for all of the hearts of these women, and as he goes along, he kind of realizes that it's not the women that he's interested in. And there's a couple of side characters and a couple of men involved that kind of stray him from the main show, and that is just a peek into The Charm Offensive. I really like Alison Cochrane. I have her other books as well. She writes all queer books, and that just makes me really happy. So really, really good book. I put it off forever, but I'm obsessed with it. That was another 5-star read. Here for me is a 4-star read, also very good. It's called If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. Julie Murphy actually came to Disney while I was there, and I did not get her to sign this book, and I'm really sad because she went to like Flamingo Crossings while I was down there working, which means nothing to so many of you because none of you did the Disney College program, but if you did, she was there and I missed it and it made me sad. So segment. But anyways, back to this. If the Shoe Fits follows Cindy, and Cindy like loves all things shoes. She's also plus size, which like matters just because a lot of people care and like judge her based on her appearance in this book. But this one, she goes on a show called Before Midnight, and her mom is the one that's in charge of it, and like the person who was supposed to star in the show dropped out, and so her mom put her into it instead. And so that follows her. So her mom like doesn't think she's going to make it and doesn't think she's going to do very well. But she turns into like a fashion icon overnight for being plus size and for going on the show. But there's a bunch of like different diversions and all of that. So another really good one. The next one I don't have a physical copy of, but I'll put like a little picture in here. It's called One to Watch, and this one follows Bea or Bea. I don't know if it's Bea or Bea. It's B-E-A, but you can say it how you want to. And she is also plus sized and goes on the show called The Main Squeeze. And so she is actually the main character in this one and has a bunch of suitors vying for her attention. And same thing, her being plus size like puts a lot of eyes on her, like for both people that are watching and for the suitors that are there. And so it's really interesting to see how being plus size like affects like being on a show such as this one. And the last one, I'm so excited to talk about this one. This one is called House of Desire. And this is by one of my favorite indie authors, N.E. Butcher. And it is, it follows Parker and Anya. And Parker goes on to the House of Desire, which is like trying to get like, will you be the spark of my desires? Like basically how it goes. It's very much The Bachelor, but with candles rather than with flowers. And so he is trying to go on there and find the love of his life, and he's starting to regret deciding to do that. And Anya goes on and she is trying to like fight for Parker's attention, but there are also other girls that like interest him and stuff. And so a whole bunch of things go down with that. And yeah, so that one I'm really excited about because that one comes out in just a few weeks. That one comes out September, I don't know, I'll put editing in here to like figure it out, but it's like September 17th, 18th-ish. So yeah. So those are my 5 recommendations. If you are a fan of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, let me know what your favorite season is, and also if you've read any of these books, because these books are chef's kiss, like genuinely amazing. I am in love. Thank you for watching and for hanging out with me, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye!